Right, hello guys, welcome to another video. So we are back with another Lightroom tutorial. Just want to say a quick few things. I did a Lightroom tutorial on maintaining your Instagram theme and just a general how to edit like a boss in Lightroom. Now those videos did extremely well. The feedback has been amazing from them videos. They both passed 100,000 views, which is absolutely insane. They're my highest viewed videos on my channel right now. Unbelievable that so many people have clicked and watched me ramble on for 20 minutes about how to do stuff in Lightroom, which is cool. I'm very grateful for those views. Now this is why I'm back today doing a portrait Lightroom tutorial. Yeah, some of the feedback was a bit silly. People moaning about, oh, you're shooting landscape in 1.8 using a 50mm, shooting 1.8 and your editing was off. But I don't think people were understanding like this was behind the scenes of my Instagram account. Instagram account being like it's kind of casual photography really. It's not really my professional stuff. I mean, if I was going through my professional stuff, then yeah, there would be some things which you have to like make sure you were doing, like shoot at this right aperture and all this other technical dad photographer stuff. But it was behind the scenes of my Instagram. It's unique to me. It's unique to kind of my style of editing and stuff like this, and I can do whatever I want basically within Lightroom because it's just going on Instagram. It's not for a client, it's not for anyone else, it's just me and my followers who like my stuff that appreciate it. So let's get to it then. Right, okay then. So we've got 2 photos today. I'm going to go through, lucky you. Let's fire up this screen recorder, which I desperately need to upgrade, but this is all we've got at the moment, and we are recording. Right, we're in Lightroom now, as you can see. Apologise for the left side here, which is my terribly organised library and folders. I need to sort that out desperately. Okay, so I basically put these in just a little folder down here so I can easily access them. So right, so we're going to look at this photo today. This is my shot of my brother, and we're going to look at my girlfriend here, Hannah. I decided to do this because one's got long hair and one's got short hair, and one is more kind of face focused and the other one is kind of got some bokeh in the background and kind of more colours within it, and kind of a darker front and all that stuff. So they're both pretty different, but they're both portraits. Right, let's get started then. Quick thing though, I want to say, if you know a thing or two about Lightroom, keep on watching. If you know all the controls and everything and how everything works on the right hand side here, you can keep watching. If you don't know anything at all about Lightroom, you can go back to my how to edit like a boss video. I recommend you watch that first before watching this video. Because I'm not going to go over that many things and go all through the light controls and stuff. I'm just going to basically focus on how to get the portrait to stand out and the key aspects in making it pop and stuff, and some things about colours. So go watch that video first if you know nothing about Lightroom, but keep watching if you know a thing or two. Right, so back in Develop, go up here, Develop tab, and we can see the before and after on this photo. So as you can see just by eye, there's probably not that much you can see, but there's a lot of things embedded in this photo, which I'll go over. So we're going to start from scratch. Right, I'm just going to go very quickly through this, just to edit the basic and stuff. That looks pretty good. You can toggle back before and after using that key, which I don't know what's called, backslash I think it's called. Right, down to the HSL Bars, which is my ultimate favourite in Lightroom, which is so cool. You can adjust colours, brighten colours, darken colours, adjust the hue of colours and everything like that. All this is down to personal preference. You don't have to copy me with this, you don't have to think this is the ultimate best way to edit a photo. This is all personal preference. I do touch on this in my how to maintain a theme on Instagram, because if you do want a consistent theme going through Instagram, then this kind of bar, HSL bar, will allow you to do that. Right, so red, don't want to mess about too much because I don't want to ruin the colour of the bridge. Orange, this is very important to not touch when you're editing portraits, because we have a lot of orange in our skin depending on the light. Could be less, could be more. Sunset would be less. On a bright sunny day, could be more orange in your skin than you actually know. This image, it was shot after sunset, so there's not going to be that much, but you'd be surprised in actually how much there is in the image. And if you mess about with this too much, you're going to look like an alien or some not human person. not human person. That doesn't make sense. Anyway, yeah, don't mess about with the orange and yellow too much because it's going to ruin your skin tones. But you can sort of select different colours in the image with the tools like the brush tool and gradient filters and stuff like that, and edit the rest of the photo while not touching the subject. The aqua, this is a kind of normal one for me to go towards a turquoisey blue, not too much though because that looks horrible. So aqua and blue I tend to take down a little bit. Purple and magenta, won't be anything there. Now we're going on to the saturation bar. Red, don't want to touch the bridge too much. Orange, now this is very important, not go too far because then you look like a fake tan person from Essex, which is not what we want. And if you go desaturated, you look like a zombie, so we can take that to the middle, keep it where it is, be careful not to mess about with that too much while doing portraits. Yellow, as you can see, is a little bit lost in his face, but then the foreground down here, I don't really like the saturated look on the floor, so I'm going to take it down a little bit. Green won't be too much. Aqua, there'll be some changes in the background, so I'm going to keep that relatively the same. Blue, now you guys know, if you look at my Instagram regularly or you follow me, whatever, you know I love the desaturated blue look. I don't kind of like the high saturated, looks a bit tacky, but I really liking this desaturated blue look at the moment. So always in my edits, if you look at the saturation bar, the blue is always going to be in the minus. I do like that very much. Remember though, if you take the blue down, you can go back up to the temperature bar and you can adjust the warmth and the coolness of the photo still. So if you do want to bring back some of that coolness, you can do it in the temperature bar instead of just the saturation bar. Purple and magenta won't be too much going on there. Luminance, this is such an awesome tool, like I mentioned in my how to edit video. Now I'm going through this very quick. If you are on the ball with me and if you're kind of going at the same pace, then cool, keep watching. But if you have no idea what I'm talking about, do go watch my other video, How to Edit Like a Boss, because that just explains everything. I'm just going through this very quick so we can get onto the main subject. Luminance, the red, will darken and lighten some aspects of his face, and the bridge obviously because it's red. Now the orange, again, because we're talking about skin tones, this will affect his face. I like to brighten that as well, but be careful because there's bokeh in the background here, and you'll lose some detail if you go too bright. Dark will bring back some colour. So just be aware, you can select it individually and edit it. Yellow, as you can see on his necklace, it's going up and down in brightness. That looks quite cool actually, so I'm going to leave it quite bright. Aqua, not too much going on there. Now the blue, a lot will change here because it's the main kind of colour in the photo. If I take it down, be careful, you don't want to ruin the edges of your subject, as you see around his shoulder and through the bridge and stuff like that. Which makes it look very fake and kind of computer generated. We don't want that, so be careful when taking down the main colour in the photo because it will ruin your edges and corners. Right, let's get down to the actual subject now. Adjustment brush. Right, so what I tend to do with the adjustment brush when editing portraits is select the whole body and the head, basically the whole thing of the person. Now don't test me, this is just very rough and probably looks really bad, but this is just quick and I don't want this video to be 30 minutes long. As you can see, once you've brushed over, it leaves this little dot here and you can see where you've brushed over. Now with portraits, the goal is to try and get your subject to stand out. So boost exposure, leave contrast, highlights, upper tads, shadows. You can either bring these up if there's some detail lost in the jacket, if you want to bring it back through, or in the hair. I tend to keep it around the same. Whites, up a bit. Now someone might argue that say, oh, whites, highlights and exposure are the same. They kind of are. I mean, it's going to make your it's going to make your photo or subject brighter, whichever one you pick, but in different kind of sections of the subject, if you get what I mean. So whites might pick up the shirt, and highlights might pick up the light dabbled on the face, and exposure will pick up the whole thing. So there's just a clarification. So I've heightened them a little bit. Clarity, we're gonna, as you can see, I don't like to add too much clarity because it makes it very rough. Apologies for my laptop making a ridiculous noise. So clarity, we can come down again a little bit, but then we're gonna sharpen the whole image. Sharpen the whole bit I've selected here. Saturation, again, personal preference. If you want it to stand out even more, you can boost saturation, but there's a little bit of blue in his t-shirt, which I don't really like. So to fix that, I'm going to press done. So that saves that dot up there. So that's done up there. And now I'm going to select it again, and I'm just going to highlight his t-shirt down here, and you can zoom in when doing this, by the way, but I'm just doing it very quickly, and down the side where he's got white. If you do want to erase a part of the red, you can go over here and erase, so it's more neat. As you can see, that's a bit neater. Right, now I've selected the white, I'm going to desaturate it. You can see that's desaturating, and if you oversaturate, you see it's a lot of blue in his t-shirt I don't really like, so I'm going to take that right out, which makes him, his body and everything stand out separately between the blue and the background, which I think is quite cool in this photo. So it's not all kind of bluey cool tones. He's, you know, important in the photo. What else can we do? We can go back to the brush and brush his face just a tad and kind of put more highlights and whites in there, just a little bit. And if you want, you can warm the face to warm the skin tones, or cool in the skin tones. Also the tint plays a part in this as well. I'm gonna go around there. Right, let's now move on to this photo. Just want to go through this one quickly. I'm going to add a preset, which I've edited from this series. Right, there it is. Doesn't look very good, so I'm going to fix that quickly. So we've got this to work with. Already looks okay. Now we're going to fiddle with the hair with this one. Now I just want to go in, and I've selected the brush tool again, and I'm going to just brush. Oh, moved it. Didn't mean to do that. Just brush where the blonde is coming through and where the highlights are. And I'm going to boost the clarity. As you can see, it's getting a bit more definition, a bit more detail. Shadows, pull them up a little bit. Whites as well. And then I'm going to go in again, just up here, where the hairline is. I'm going to pull the shadows so we get a bit more detail up there. And already we've changed the hair quite a bit. As you can see, it's more poppy. Just going to go in and warm a little bit so it doesn't look too white. So we've brought the hair to life pretty much. And now, because this is more focused on the face, I'm going to go in and do the eyes. Now I didn't do the eyes in the last one. I'm just going to show you. This is a very important thing to remember. The whites you see around the pupil, you don't really want to go overboard with those. You don't want to really expose them really bright, because then your model is going to look like a ghost. So we're going to concentrate on the pupils. Now they're very dark in this case. Even they're darker because we put in fade and stuff with the blacks. So I'm going to bring them back with shadows. As you can see, it's picking up the hair here. This is a worst case scenario because there's hair going across the face, so it's a bit more tricky. Just going to see if we can pick up the shadows here. Just a little bit, I don't want to go overboard. And then we can go down to the erase tool and erase where we don't want the mask to show. If you've done a bad mask like I have. Now we're going to go the whole eye. You can go in here and do it precise and go in between the hair and stuff, but I'm just doing it very roughly. We're going to brighten it a little bit. Shadows again, see if that does anything. Okay, so we're getting the colour through her eyes now. Go to the erase tool and just erase the eyelids where the pink comes through, just to make it a little bit more neat. And there we go. So that has already, if you can see, brightened up her eyes a little bit, and then we can see more colour coming through there, still maintaining that nice dark fade throughout. Eyebrows still look a bit dark. I'm going to go in and brighten those. Okay. And then erase. I've gone wrong here. That one looks okay. Right. Pretty decent. So with this kind of tutorial, I'm just trying to show you what tools you can use to achieve kind of making the eyes brighter, making the hair a bit more detail within it, and stuff along those lines, and try and use the tools and brush tools and stuff like that to separate the model from the background. Also, a cool thing you can do, it's a bit kind of on the Photoshop side, but you can kind of mask the whole background and then de-sharpen, which will blur it even more, which gives more shallow depth of field, and you can bring out the portrait even more. But I don't really tend to do that because it's a bit fake. I just kind of tweak little bits in Enhance. So there is Hannah, and there is my brother Jacob. I'm going to go through these pictures on my own just a little bit more and tweak them and get them finalised. Yes, I'll show you at the end of the video once they're finalised. But guys, so there's so many things you can do in Lightroom. I've basically just gone over the brush tool and the basic again and the tone curve. Don't forget there's how to make presets and how to use presets, and how to use presets on a whole kind of set, or even your whole Instagram feed, and not going wrong with colours, and how to get it consistent throughout using the same preset. As you know, I don't kind of make presets and sell them. This is the whole point of making these tutorials, so I don't have to do that, so you guys can learn how to make your own presets, learn how to edit properly, and then apply it to your photos, or have a photo start from scratch and edit all the way through, so you don't have to buy someone's presets and then your photo is going to look like someone else's. I don't really believe in that. I believe in just kind of generating your own style and then growing that through your Instagram feed, through your client base or whatever, so they know when they see a photo, okay, that's that guy, that's that girl that edited that photo. I know who she is, I know who he is, I like their photography. Not like, oh, I'm going to buy blah blah blah's preset, put it on my photo. You get what I mean. So I finalised the images, went over them a bit more and edited them kind of more precisely than I was doing in the video. It's just to kind of speed things up and show you guys. So here's a picture of my brother. This is the before photo and here is the after photo. I'll put them side by side as well. You can see quite a lot of difference there, making the whole subject pop and stuff like that, and maintaining the nice colours in the background and so forth. And here is my girlfriend. This is the before photo, so quite flat. And here is the after, so you can see heighten the clarity in the hair, maintain the skin tones as well, and brighten up the eyes, and having that nice, still having that nice fade and blacks throughout the image. Right then guys, so that concludes my portrait Lightroom tutorial. If you got to this far in the video, congratulations, you deserve an award for how, well, I don't know how long this video is yet, because I'm still, well, obviously I'm sitting here. Yeah, hopefully you've learned quite a few things from this, going through the tools again on how to kind of enhance your subjects and make your, whoever you're photographing, pop. That's my whole goal of this video, trying to show you how to do that. And yes, I did mention before, there's so many other things to do with Lightroom, so if you want me to do more tutorials on how to make presets, how to apply presets across your images, and how to make them look the same on each photo, depending on the light or whatever, anything like that, drop down a comment below and I'll look through them and yeah, pick some good ideas, and there'll be more Lightroom tutorials because you guys are loving them. So I'm going to keep doing these, yeah, keep you guys happy. So yes guys, that does it for the video. Hope you enjoyed it. Give me a thumbs up if you did. As well, follow my Instagram. I'll put these guys' links down below as well. They both have Instagram accounts. Yes, so follow them, follow me. Yes, yes, yes. So yeah, that's pretty much it guys. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.